This is an update week 7 for Monique, and it's an interesting one because there's doubts that are creeping in here into the gains that are taking place. And how do we know there are gains? Well, you see, what we're doing is we're tracking the number of entries that follow the institution of the treatment here on April 1st. We're now May 16. So we've basically had one extra cycle during that time in the lead up to that cycle. And these are the symptoms here. So if you recall, 10 is the same as always, 5 is half as bad as it used to be, and 0 is I don't have the issue anymore. Now those numbers are color coded. So if we take a look, the red entries are 8 to 10, the green entries are 0 to 3, and the yellow entries are 4 to 7. Now, we can add up the numbers and we get these little black marks in here as well, which I've done as a little tally. But that's another issue with regards to numerical indexes or indices. And what I want to show you here is look at the number of premenstrual and menstrual symptoms that Monique has here. Now, take a look at the duration. Each row represents a day, right? And this is after about 6-7 days, we started to get all of the symptoms leading into the next bleed. Now that next bleed was unusual for Monique because it only lasted 2 days. You can see the previous bleed was there, right? And it lasted 1, 2, 3, 4 days. The following bleed, immediately after the institution of the therapies or the strategies on April 1, resulted in a 2-day bleed. Well, that's unheard of for Monique. But let's just take a look at her premenstrual and her menstrual symptoms. You can see that red, 8 to 10, yellow, 4 to 7, and green, 0 to 3, green meaning I don't have the issue. Take a look what's happening here with regards to the premenstrual and the menstrual symptoms. Now, she isn't menstruating just yet, but the premenstrual symptoms are far less. And we're expecting that to occur in 4 or 5 days' time. Now, where the issue comes into this and why the spreadsheet becomes really important is that my client is experiencing gains here. Thrush, discharge, premenstrual symptoms, ovulatory discomfort, and bursting pain, twisting like a knife, etc., etc. That stuff is not actually appearing this time around. And okay, it's exciting, but is my client excited? Not really. There's a mixture of doubt here. Oh, well, yes, but that's not long term. That's the sort of mental impact chronicity has on a client. It's understandable that she doesn't want to get her hopes up. Why would you want to do that? You will feel very destabilized. It'll be an emotional roller coaster if you go backwards. But if you have confidence in the system that you're using, that's the reason why we targeted all of these very interesting symptoms up front. So let's just take a look at them again. But I mean, this is like predictive. This model of care, I have great faith in it because I've been doing it a long time. And that's the reason why I'm prepared to go and take a look at all of these symptoms like unable to get out of bed, feels like labour premenstrually and menstrually, unable to go to work, needs a TENS machine, needs a heat pack, prevents me from attending work, ovulation leads to right butt referral, ovulation leads to right back of knee referral, it's pulsating and sharp nerve pain. If we take a look here, before ovulation, either-sided, ovulatory pain is a bee sting sensation, the presence of discharge, thrush, ovulatory pain, duration, ovulatory pain numbing, premenstrual dysphoria, premenstrual abdominal pain, early labour. I mean, these are fairly intense pains, aren't they? At its worst, it's a 10, at its best, it's a 4, and on average, she rates it as a 7. Premenstrual low back pain, premenstrual pain when I push with constipation, nausea, rate your ability to lie on your back. She's on day 23. We'll take a look at that. Sugar cravings felt now, back pain during the bleed, very severe sugar cravings and sugar intensity felt 7 days prior and into my period. Oh my goodness, been like this for 5 to 6 years, getting worse. Okay, back pain during the bleed, abdominal pain during the bleed, drops me to the floor. Rate the drama of the period. I mean, it's on, like somebody's turned on a fire hydrant. Flow heaviness, so there's no warning in that. Need to squeeze the undies to soak up the excess blood. Fear of leakage, need to push like pushing a baby for golf ball clots. Presence of clots, golf ball, and medications. Well, that's just the women's health issues there as well. All right. Now, we're tracking in Monique all sorts of things like need for a rest during the day, lethargy, need a day off due to work exhaustion, not social, inclined to stay at home, unable to do the housework, concentrate and study, brain fog, mood changeable, PMDD, feeling fragile, suicide ideation, overreacting, bipolar disorder, no motivation, inability to accept kindness, low self-esteem, and then we do the sleep, which is all the nighttime. So we're keeping extensive recordings going on here on a daily fashion. Now, you would probably think as a practitioner, how on earth do you get your patients to do that? Well, you see, it's because of the buy-in. When patients know that you're interested and you're validating them and you're thinking all of these symptoms are real, we're not writing them off. We're not saying, here, take this pill, have this patch, have this procedure. We're actually documenting these changes in a graded fashion called a comparative grading tool. Now, this is a bit unique, so I'm really happy to be spearheading this. But if you just take a look at the colour, instantly you can tell that it's a very different system to there and there. The duration it's just missing in these areas in here. She's not feeling it. Now, she's a lady that's got so many particular disorders like PMDD, bipolar, what's the other ones? Attention deficit, depressive tendencies, suicide ideation. Poor thing. She's got enough to carry. She's a single mum with 2 children. But look what a difference this makes just down in here. Now, if we track across, we'll be able to see, is the whole body interconnected? Well, she's just been threatened at work to lose her job. So I'm taking a look at some of the impact on that there with the red findings in here. And she's insightful enough to say that there are things going on at work here that are really upsetting the system. So she's got a sense of honesty and fairness about her, this lady, and she's recording her input here daily, and it's just a remarkable thing that I've got a client that has buy-in like this into this program, and we've already outlined that it's going to be a 12-month program because of the psychiatric medication that she's on, the sleeping tablets that she's on, the ADHD medication that she's about to go on. I'm not happy with that, but I have to accept my patients heal according to their rhythm, not according to my program. And if I'm starting to see changes like this, yes, I'm able to put in professional recommendations to encourage her and invite her to consider some of the gains that have been made. But if we get another period here, which is almost non-eventful compared to this one up in here, compare that one to that one there, and we can't unfortunately see the one before that because we started just after that cycle, so that's okay. But she knows in row 2, just in there, what it's like, and I'm just witnessing miracles. I'm actually witnessing miracles unfolding. Now, I've seen that before. I could probably show you another spreadsheet here of another person that's done exactly the same thing, and here it is. Oh, oopsies. That one. Isn't that beautiful? We can just see the colour change. Yes, there's honesty about this system. You can see the reds. You can see the reds there as well that have come about. And interestingly, guess what we did? We actually reduced her psychiatric medication right here. Well, has it had its impact? Absolutely. Her husband's job loss, has it had an impact? Absolutely. Is she coping? Yes, she is. She's coming in for consultations during this time in here as well, and she's being co-managed by her medicating practitioner. But it's a good thing to see that she's dropped 3/4 of her medications, and this is where she came from. Now, this is 10 months in, whereas Monique is 1.5 cycles in, and she's having doubts. Is it real? Well, if Monique goes the distance and she starts to see trends, she'll be able to answer that question for herself. Anyway, this was a longer video, but it was designed to show you the beauty of the quick color system, the numbers that we'll be able to use to give numerical indices for healing during the program, and then also these wonderful comments over here as well. And let's just finish off with a couple of comments from Monique. I'm grateful. I woke up before my alarm today and was ready to get out of bed. Day 2 of waking up before my alarm. Unheard of for Monique. Also said, where did I write that? I think she said something along the lines of, woke up with a sore neck. Video, no, that was just recent. I'm not sure quite what happened in those sleeping positions, or if it's that I've rearranged my workstation, but I'm feeling something. Not as much physically. I'm still in pain, but not as much, and still exhausted, but my mental clarity is really good, and my moods feel like they're stabilizing. It's definitely noticeable. For the first time in a really long time, I feel mentally stable. What a wonderful way to start to experience some of these early results, and yet there's still room for doubt. And just come back to the idea of the spreadsheet here. This is visual healing. Once you have enough proof or runs on the board, that doubt goes. But it's exactly what happens with chronicity. And this spreadsheet gains more and more value as Monique progresses through her days. Anyway, my name's Daniel Dada. Thank you for listening. And this is week 7 of Monique's progress from endo and other disorders.